Life is a fight. And how to determine that you are on the right path? How do you determine that you're on the right path? That's a question that I want to ask. How do you determine? How do you know? How do you measure? See, if life is a fight and every single day is a new fight, how to determine that you're winning life is if you win your fights. And I'll give you an example. Today, man, it was a good day. But why was it a good day for me? Because I won my fight. And what was my fight? See, there's two voices that you'll get every single morning. It's two voices. Especially when you're on your own and you independent, right? See, as a young child, our mothers make us go to school. Our mothers make us get up. But when you on your own, in the free world, in the real world, you get those two voices. And you having free will, you can listen to one of the two. In the morning is either go back to sleep or get up and work. Right? And how to determine if you win is if you get up and work. You'll feel more accomplished. You'll feel better at the end of the day. And it's not only just that. That's just one small example of the fight that we face every single day. And this is that fight that God talks about in the Bible. This is that fight. When he tells us, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow has its own problems. Only worry about today and focus on today. Right? Because the day has its own problem. It has its own problem. This is that fight that God is talking about, bro. Every single day there are problems that's there. And I wouldn't even say problems, but there are fights and many battles that are there that some of the unconscious people aren't even aware of. But when you're consciously aware of the battle and the spiritual battle that's going on here, you often win your battles. See, if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be skinny, if you want to be ripped, if you want to work on your body game and build yourself up, these are the battles that you must win. The yes or no battles. Right? I was watching Andy Frisella, whatever his name is. I was watching him, and he said something that I always tell to myself, man. I always say it to myself. He said something. He said, there's two voices in your head. He calls the weaker voice the bitch voice, right? And he calls the other voice the beast voice or the boss voice, right? So it's a bitch voice and a boss voice, which I like to say it's an angel and a devil on your shoulder, and you as the person in the middle, you determine which angel you listen to, right? Because it's one fallen angel and there's one right angel still in heaven. It's a greater angel and it's a least angel. An angel that want to destroy you, or an angel that just want the best for you. And it's up to you as the person controlling this vessel, as the person consciously aware, to choose which path you go take. The Bible tells us that life in the way to righteousness is a narrow path, and very few find it. Why is that? I want to tell y'all something, bro. We live in America in a society where you can get rich overnight. And it's not limited to just one person. But yet there's only 1% of the world that are rich. And why is that? Because the path to righteousness is very few. Very few find it. It's just the small battles that you win, right? Whether you're hungry and you got a food addiction and you out in public and you see your favorite restaurant, Chipotle, but you know you gotta save your money. You know you can't be spending money freely because it don't just grow on trees for you. You don't have passive income. You don't have a lot of different you have one income stream, and that's working income. You know you gotta save to invest that money into a better life, but yet you choose the Chipotle over saving. And wrong. That's a battle lost. It's just little things like that that determines where you be in the next 5 years. And you have to become consciously aware of the things that you are doing. You have to become consciously aware of every single decision that you make. And each decision that you make has to be morally led. Morally led. Led by your morals. Led by your characteristics. Led by right or wrong. Led by good and evil. Led by good and bad. They have to be led. Every single aspect of your life. Even this recording. Did I want to record it right now? Or did I want to push it off? By default, we always want to do something that's not good for us. But by default, we always do want to do something that's good for us. You see that confusion that there is? You see the confusion? You see how it's always two paths? It's always two sides to one story? You gotta choose the right way. You have to. Left or right, left or right. Which way you go? Hearing this message, you got a lot of things that you're thinking of, like, okay, I know you probably in your personal life trying to apply this message and this word to your life, thinking of what you could do to be better. Right? And whatever that thing may be, you gotta just jump on top of it today. Right now, when you don't feel like it, when you don't want to. Because I'm telling you, the more and more you push that off, the more and more that bitch voice that Andy Frisella said it is, the weaker voice, the more and more that voice gets stronger and it has more power over you. Let me repeat that. The more and more you feed the bitch voice, the stronger the bitch voice get. It's just like feeding a lion or feeding something, right? The less food you eat, the weaker you get, the more tired you are. You're closer to death because you don't have no food, but the more food you have can either make you fat if it's the wrong food, or the more food you have can either make you strong if it's the right food. So what voice are you feeding? That's the question. What voice are you feeding the most? And that's going to determine whether you be successful or not. That determines whether you are on the right path or not. That determines whether you will be where you want to be or not. I speak to a lot of people like this. Family members, friends. And yet I don't see them hop on it. It's not an urgency. They understand it. They understand it. But yet, that bitch voice has control over them. That demon, that devil has control over them. And yet, it's keeping them away from their dreams and goals. It's keeping them away from that life that they truly want. It's keeping them away from what God has promised them. What are you going to do? Are you going to listen to the bitch voice? Or are you going to listen to this good voice? The choice is yours.